Alright, here we are with game 3 versus Dirty Fishhook. Um, we'll keep this in. It's not bad. We have... I. Okay, so he's probably mono black. That's what's gonna make most sense for him. Um, let's play the crossroads here. Yeah, so he's pretty much going to definitely be mono black. Mono blacks, it's okay against this. Guardian of the Guild pack is pretty good. Mono black is bad in that they can hit your hand, and if they hit it early enough, you're not going to be able to do all of the cool pestilence things later on. The Grim Harvest and Disturbed Burial are actually especially Grim Harvest is pretty good here because it lets you do things when your hand is gone, and it kind of takes away the advantage of all of their stuff. The good thing about this matchup is that Mono Black has no real way of dealing with the Resolved Pestilence. They can deal with Guardians through Edict effects, but it can't do much against Pestilence, and most of the stuff they have is going to be like 2 toughness, so Pestilence can kill it fairly easily. We're going to play this now. This matchup's not bad. It gets a little worse when they start siding in Duresses and they can hit the Pestilences with it. Alright, so Victim of Night's that. It's whatever. Yeah, so the worst possible thing that happens here is we play him, he Edict effects, and then he has the ninja. Let me think. Okay. So we kind of might have misplayed here a little bit. What? Okay, actually that's fine. We're gonna play this. Play Guardian. And if he kills it, then we can start Grim Harvesting for it. What I was trying to think about doing, which was probably bad, and was to Grim Harvest and then try to get back Wall of Hope to mitigate the forcing the problem of having to sacrifice Guardian. Oops, sorry, I just bumped my mic. The fact that he didn't deal with this immediately is a really good sign for us. We could race here, or we cannot. Yeah, I guess we might as well swing with it. There's no reason to not. Or yeah, actually, we'll just leave it as it is. At this point, the ninja is one of the worst things he could have. We're basically just gonna try to hold everything off until we can get a pestilence, and then from there we hold off his board and can swing in for meaningless amounts of damage. Okay. That's okay, we can get rid of those. Alright, so we can start swinging in with him. The idea being we have Lone Missionaries to block, and we can Grim Harvest to get the Lone Missionaries back, which are certainly much more exciting to get back than this Wall of Hope. Okay, Chittering Rats is an annoying card. I guess Chittering Rats, this kind of goes for all games against Mono Black, and I probably should have been a little bit more aware of this earlier. But against Mono Black, there's a lot of inherent value in just dumping your hand early. Okay. Because then all of his rats and Chittering Rats and Liliana's Specters just lose all of their value. Okay, so all we're doing here is Grim Harvesting, getting back the Lone Missionary. And this is actually going to be a pretty tough, unless he has a bog, this is going to be pretty tough for him to break through, I would imagine. Because he can't just slam these guys into us, because then we're just going to... He can't race us right now, pretty much is what I'm... Because the Missionary and the Harvest. We have him on a 6-turn clock, which doesn't mean too much, but... Oh, now we're at a 5-turn clock. And I would be surprised if he attacked her. Alright, so in line with what I just said, we're basically just, well, at this point, actually, we could just, okay, alright, we'll Journey to Nowhere the Chittering Rats. We definitely want to leave 3 up for the Grim Harvest. But by just emptying out the hand, he can't put us behind on tempo with Chittering Rats. So that's why we're playing stuff. And Mono Black also doesn't have a lot of creatures that we're really going to be worried of. So, because basically it just has a lot of these 2/2 guys and... Okay, let's see. We'll play that. Then during... That was bad. I'm sorry. What I should have done here was just Grim Harvest for the Lone Missionary. Because now we can't Grim Harvest during his end step because that's going to leave us at 2. And 2 open mana. And he can have an edict effect. Because Guardian isn't as unkillable for mana. Unless he taps out. If he taps out, then we can Grim Harvest during the end step. but Geth's Verdict and Diabolic Edict will completely ruin our day otherwise. So that was a misplay on my part. Instead, okay, we could just do this during his end step. I don't know. I'm trying to think of whether or not we should attack here. The problem now is that when we let him hit us now with 7 lands up, we get close into 8. If he has like 2 corrupts or something, it becomes a liability. Even if it's not a huge problem, we're better off just taking it slow, which is kind of the theme for this whole deck. So yeah, the fact that he's pushing through for damage means that he probably has some kind of shenanigans with corrupts and stuff. Is this a corrupt? I'll feel like a genius. It is a corrupt. Alright, Grim Harvest for the Little Missionary. Puts us at... there's no point attacking. Alright, so that's kind of good because we get another Lone Missionary out of that. And we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He has 9 swamps. I would be shocked if he doesn't have another corrupt. Okay, let's see. Does he have... Okay, so we can get back Bog to throw off his unearths if he has any left, or we could just get Basilica to run our life total up. And I think right now getting the Crossroads, just bounce Crossroads. We could tap in response, but it's not gonna. Will it mean much? No, because what we're going to do is Grim Harvest for the other Lone Missionary. And right now we're just gonna pass. He would need another swamp. What's he doing here? Okay. Okay, so in here we'll just Grim Harvest back the other Lone Missionary. This is actually not looking well. It's okay. If he has an Edict, a Swamp, and a Corrupt in his hand, we lose. He can have a Swamp, a Sign in Blood, and a Corrupt. And so now that's gonna die. We get to Grim Harvest. Yes, I would like that back. Alright. Here comes... Alright. With that, we can just get rid of... corrosive chains. We're gonna be corrosive chains this Spectre. But we're gonna need it. We really want everything else, so that's not because we can't discard this because then we risk losing it. All right, so that's really good. Okay. And what we're gonna do here is we play Pestilence. We get Pestilence for 1 to kill these 2 guys, and then we can play Lone Missionary, which is gonna put us pretty far out of. Yeah, so we're going to be gaining 6 here, which puts us at 17. So that puts us pretty far out of corrupt range. And he can't attack now. If this usually will, especially at the point we're at now, yeah, once corrupt is one of their only outs to this. And his corrupt's getting big, but it is not big enough. Also now, we could also start using that. Okay, we're just going to put back the Grim Harvest, so he can't make us discard it and then kill it. So what we can actually do is we can kill our own Lone Missionary and then start Grim Harvesting it back to gain life every turn. How much do we have? 2. We could actually do that right now, I think. If we do... Or we just... Whoops. We'll clear his board. What's he doing? He's gonna tendrils here. Alright, that doesn't mean much for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At one, let's see. We have 1, 2, 3. We can actually get back. Actually, we don't want to do that. Alright. I was going to say that we can get back the Wall of Hope. Actually, I didn't notice that we have 2 Wall of Hopes. But 2 Wall of Hopes will be pretty good here, because we can Pestilence without killing ourselves. So this is another mistake. Should have noticed that we had 2 Wall of Hopes. Instead, I was sticking with the Lone Missionary plan. But we... Okay. I should have added a Pestilence trigger onto that. Let's see. Oh yeah, we're definitely paying to get it back. Okay, so he's at 11. We should probably get the Lone Missionary back. I'm flip-flopping on what I'm... Or actually, we could just get back the Augur of Skulls to hit his last corrupt. Which might be best. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So even if he draws a corrupt and a sign in blood, he can hit us for 13, which won't kill us. So we'll get back the Augur of Skulls. And we draw one. Okay. So we'll do that. We could just play another one. Well, there's no point in doing that, because then Pestilence will kill it whenever we want to use it again. The game's going to be really slow from here on out, probably, because he's at 27, and we're just going to try to whittle him down. But I think I don't want to... I mean, he would need like 2... Yeah, so he's going to... That's fine. And here comes Corrupt, which will put him at 36. Oh, I'm dumb. Okay. We should have killed the Augur of Skulls. I don't know why I regenerated it, because we want to get back Grim Harvest. And then we can... And now he has no cards in his hand. So we're going to Grim Harvest for the Lone Missionary. We just need to get our life total back up to a real amount. Play the Lone Missionary. And the worst possible thing here is if he draws a Corrupt. Can we... Let's see. We can... Alright. Yeah, and the next turn I think we can... Alright, we just have to hope he doesn't draw a Corrupt. And I'm assuming he didn't. Alright, so... And he's not going to have any instant... Okay. So a Pestilence, kill that, get back Grim Harvest. And right now we're going to try to just run our life total up to get out of Corrupt range. And then from there we could just focus on, you know, taking more time and... Or not taking less time and just attacking. And then, so at the end of his turn, we Pestilence. What's he at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so... It's another cool thing about the Lone Missionary that could not be done with the Augur of Skulls. I mean, it would just take much, much more work. The downside that it dies to Pestilence easier is also, in this case, an upside. So, okay, if I hit it... 1, 2, 3... Alright, if we can kill him here and do another Grim Harvest. And I think we're in this we're going to risk losing the Grim Harvest, but it's going to put us out of corrupt range, which is a priority, I think. Yeah, we're just gonna do it. And we may lose our Grim Harvest here, but I don't... Okay, we didn't. So that works out well. I don't know what he's holding in his hand right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's at 13. We're just going to keep doing this. We have to keep an eye on the time. But and I feel like now that we're at... Well, next turn we can get the Augur of Skulls and just put pressure on his hand. He probably has a Corrupt. It's the only thing that kind of makes sense. But now we have... He'll be at 16. We'll have all this out. We also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, actually we win here. Because we hit him for 5, and then hit him for 5 next turn with Pestilence, and then swing. I may have just done something moronic. But oh, okay, so that's gonna be... So this pretty much locks it up for us. Alright, and we attack, and that will be game. I'm curious as to what he has in his hand. I don't know. Alright, so we're going to have to play quickly because we have 7 minutes left, and that was only game 1. Sideboarding, there's not much to do for this. Duresses are okay. Castigates are good as well, but yeah, Castigates are okay. And more importantly, the Journey to Nowheres and Curse of Chains aren't very good. I didn't see any of the ninjas, so if we saw those, they'd be a reason to bring these things in. But I am all for cutting some of those. Castigates are good because they hit creatures as well, which they have a lot of. But more importantly, we're looking to hit the any edict effects, any removal, and the corrupts. So I think just playing these early. Oh, also we don't really need prismatic strands. Prismatic strands okay, and that it's we'll do a 3/3 split. I think that'll be good. They're okay because they're like good to discard. It's not something like having flashback gives it value if they do discard it. Alright, this is good. So how we really want this to play out. Oh, he's into duress. And he is going to hit our duress, and then we duress him back. We're going to duress, try to hit some type of edict effect. If he has 2, then, well, we're still okay because we have 2 guardians. Because Guardians are tough for them to deal with. And then especially if you have another lone missionary to go along with it. Normally I would like to open with the Expanse there and then play the lone missionary. Okay. Okay, so he has a slow hand too. But if in case he had another duress, I want to see his hand, and it's not something it's worth, because it's really important, especially if he has an edict effect, and because we're going to be riding heavily on the Guardians here. Okay, so he's going to probably hit a Guardian, I think. Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. Our clock is incredibly low. I made that sound a little more desperate than it was, but we know he doesn't have anything for that. So this would have been a case where Castigate was better, but just hammer on F6 right now. He's gonna probably Spectre, and then we'll just get rid of. Well, okay, that's good for us. Yeah, we're gonna lose this next turn probably. Okay, we have to play the Guardian now. That was probably a bad trade. For the fact because we're vulnerable to edict effects, and it turns on his Unearth. But it's okay. The Spectre's coming down. We're gonna discard the Duress, I think, or we're gonna discard both. Okay. So this is one of those matchups where Mono Black kind of has an advantage. It was a little slow start, because if they're able to pick apart your hand really early, then you're in trouble. Fortunately, we still have we have enough here to play a Pestilence, and the board's set up to play a Pestilence if we draw it. I didn't see any Edict effects, so maybe he's just not running any. That would be really nice for us. Let's see what we get. Alright, so we can Grim Harvest. We will... Oh, what? Alright, I forget what he has, but... Maybe we should just Grim Harvest now. Yeah, because we're not going to have enough to... Because if we Grim Harvest during the end step, it's... Or we should just get that back. Okay, scratch what I just said. We're going to attack, because we need to do that, because we have a low clock. Alright, we're still going to Grim Harvest for the Guardian of the Guild pack. And then we'll just put the Guardian back. And he hits us for 4, we're at 20. This is going to be kind of close. Alright. Oh, this is not... That's really bad for us. Obviously. If we draw a Pestilence, we can turn this whole game around really, really quickly. It might actually... Because at this point now, with only one Guardian, we can't race him. So I think it's better to just leave him up and hope we draw our Pestilence. We're going to do this, and we're going to hit his Corrupt. Oh, okay. I was wrong. Yeah, so we're just gonna... Our clock is incredibly low. Um, so... Best... No, okay. Sometimes the mono black board sideboards have, this one doesn't because we would have seen one already, but they bring in Ice Quakes and Rancid Earths, and there's one more card that does the same thing that I'm forgetting about. But there's a bunch of black Thermocast cards that exist, and so depending on, okay, that's okay. We'll play that. I'm just regenerating here so I can F6. We might as well just do this. Alright. So he's top decking. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. So he's probably gonna swing in with everything here. Yeah. Um, we'll go to 8. Corrupt becomes pretty bad. Alright. So we have to kill these things. That was actually kind of relevant because if he has any unearths, corrupt kills us. Does he have it? No. But we win here because we hit him for 2. Oh, and puts him down to 3, and then we have pestilence for days. And we'll do this on his upkeep, just so we don't kill a Wall of Hope. Oh. Alright. Alright, so that was Mono Black. We officially won 6 packs because we're 3-0. I'm going to pause the video, and I will start it up on round 4 rather. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at round 4.